Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. 5 wins in a row is but a drop of Pog in a Resident Sleeper Desert, but we'll take it. LNVPJXGT. Data miner. Data miner, dude. This seed is actually, it's a little wonky so far. I actually love where we're at with our items. Like, Black Candle is not incredible yet, but as time goes on, we will come to appreciate it. And if you hate it, you will be ashamed of your words and your deeds. Sprinkler is actually, it's pretty close to a top tier spacebar item. I would stop short of saying it's truly top tier, but I mean, here's the thing, you might be saying, well, like, it scales as you scale, so the better you get, the more power that the sprinkler gets. And that's true, but that's also why I think it can never really be that great. It's always got kind of like an asymptotic value at its upper bound. You know what I mean? Maybe, maybe not. Like, the better you are with your DPS, the less you're gonna need an item like Sprinkler. You know? What do you need it for? So you can kill, you know, Mom's Heart in 0.75 seconds instead of 1.2 seconds? So, I mean, I'm not... right now, I honestly, like, I think the worse your damage is, the better Sprinkler is, proportionally. Because you need anything you can get, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't want to get... If you're a solo, you don't really need a coupon for buy one, get one free at the buffet. I don't know, there's supposed to be like a second half to this metaphor, but I forgot it. I was like, but if you're starving... But a single duplicated crumb could get you through the evening. You know what I mean? Sort of? Yeah, I can't really blame you. Anyway, our DPS is trash. That's the real problem right now. Number one upgrade short of the magnanimity of Magic Mushroom would be if we could just get... Is this XL? It's not. Okay, just big floor. If we could get just a single... wafer thin tears upgrade. It would go a long way. If we can get from like 17 to 12, would be helpful. You know what else would be helpful? Not trying to be super negative, but like a single consumable on this floor would go a long way. Preferably a bomb. Like, does data miner... The thing is, data miner may give you the effect of... I knew we were gonna get hit too, but I was like, at some point, you know what? I'm not happy with it, but it is what it is. I'm like, I'm not gonna use Sprinkler there because I think it's more valuable on the boss fight, but that's a room, like a poor rate of fire is gonna make those rooms where enemies spawn things like really difficult. But regardless, what was I saying? Oh yeah, data miner might carry the effect of Notched Axe. Honestly, I never recall, but we really can't risk the possibility of it being a tiers downgrade, because it is a stat reroll when we do it. It's, you know, you gotta make your own judgment call. I can't make it for you, but for me, like, tiers are one of those stats that unless we're in like a, you know, if we don't get a tiers upgrade instantly, we're gonna lose sort of situation. I don't like to gamble with it, because, you know, a tiers upgrade is worth a ton, but when your tiers are bad, a tiers downgrade just, like, it doesn't just destroy the run, it destroys your psyche. You know, it's like being ready to dive into, like, a delicious meal you've been looking forward to all day, and then all of a sudden, like, you see that there's a hair in the food or something like that. I don't know. Like, to be honest with you, it's kind of a weird metaphor for me. Because I occasionally will find food, or I was going to say food in my hair. That's not true. For a variety of different reasons. Let's go. That's good. That's good. But I'll find hair in my food sometimes. And to be honest with you, I kind of treat it as like a... You know, I'm not a clean freak by any stretch of the imagination. It's a little, like, gross. But I also am like, what do you want? You know, if you want to get a situation where other people are preparing your food, occasionally you're going to find a little hair in there, or what have you. Well, not what have you. Pretty much just hair is the only acceptable one. But I understand it's like the more you think about it, the more it grosses some people out. So, you know, I'm just saying for me, it doesn't ruin it, but I know for some people they would, you know, be like, I'm going to send this back. I would not send it back for a hair. Is it a sign of uncleanliness? I would kind of consider it a sign of uncleanliness, but you could be wearing a hairnet and still get some hair in your food, I think. I'm sure it happens all the time. Kind of treat it as like a live and let live attitude. Just stop taking damage, okay? This run is no longer bad. It could be better, but it's no longer bad. Oh my god, a bomb. And now we can feel good about shooting these because we actually have some rate of fire, some pace of play, if you will. But yeah, I know, there's some people, you know, I used to be a picky eater, and, you know, on top of being a picky eater, if, like, I was at a restaurant, and, like, a fork had a water spot on it, or something like that, I would be like, Mom, can you ask the server if I could get a new fork? This one's dirty. It's not dirty. It's just, you know, it's got marks on it from the dishwasher, but, you know, as a child, I was like, everything has to be completely pristine. Meanwhile, I was, you know, probably picking my own butt, but whatever. You know, as a kid, you live with that level of cognitive dissonance on the regular. Okay, we got 96 bombs remaining. Pyro's, like, just an amazing get. I think we will fight for this one early. Put Sprinkler down. The dream, of course, I mean, again, Magic Mush is, like, in a class all of its own. If we could only pick one kind of item, a regular HP upgrade to give us HP and the choice to take a deal or not would be nice. What we don't want to see is, like, trash item into Krampus is like the Wheel of Death. Okay, that's fine. The divorce papers, as far as items go, is real nice to get this extra rate of fire increase. I am unwilling to... Okay, never mind. I might be willing to take a pill because we've just lost our bone heart to a spider, which is quite embarrassing, but so be it. So be it. Yeah, I'm remembering now. I was insanely picky, dude. It's one thing to be like, oh, I'm not going to eat that because I don't think I'm going to like the flavor of it. It's another thing entirely to be like, oh, the fork has a water spot on it. Now, all I ask you to do is, like, sometimes I make fun of people in Fall Guys, and I'm like, what is this person doing? And you're like, well, not you're necessarily, but people are like, you know you're making fun of a kid. Then when I willfully admit to some dumb stuff I did when I was a kid, people will be like, you sound like you were a jerk as a kid. You can't have it both ways. Either it's okay to mercilessly criticize children in a way that they'll never hear, for the amusement of adults in a utilitarian fashion, or it's not okay. And I eagerly await... Thank God that didn't hit us, dude. I eagerly await the explanation of which one's acceptable. I have my hunches about... which, probably not making fun of children. That's probably the one that most people would be about, I'd think. Hey, dude, Emperor card ain't so bad. I gotta be honest with you, I think, and this is gonna be perhaps modestly controversial, I think the coupon is actually... I don't just think it's better than the Sprinkler, I think it's, like, markedly better than the Sprinkler. I think it's an absurd... Oh, thank you so much. I think it's an absurd value that we were able to pick this up. I'm very, very happy with it. It does also, if we get full red hearts, it gives us the ability to go into that curse room without losing anything. And, I mean, this should be a secret room. And this should be a secret room, honestly. Whatever, we got 86 bombs. I'm not sweating it here. That's beautiful, although we probably shouldn't have picked it up now that I think about it, but that's okay. Because we'll lose it if we go to the curse room. But we can always just not go to the curse room, is the other thing. And this could be a secret room. Okay, this could be a secret room. There could be no secret room. I'm fishing for money now, honestly. Like, we're not going to use... This is like Spelunky. You know, if we got bombs, we should use it. Even getting 2 cents for 5 bombs is like a good trade. You might not believe me on that one, but I'll stand by that for the time being. Let's blow this thing up, maybe. No, okay. Maybe there is no secret room. Here's the thing. We can make good use of whatever we get here. So I actually think this to fish for theirs options was the dream. Instead, we paid the exact right price for a Spirit Heart. I will not go to the curse room. We still got 79 bombs. I think we reasoned ourselves out of a, you know, a slightly spicy situation. I don't know, man. I'm like, maybe the secret room is next to the second secret room? I don't think it's supposed to happen. In fact, I don't think it can happen, but I do find myself not knowing where it could be. And, you know, there are... Occasionally you'll get a floor without it, but... Oh, it's perfect. Just a perfect boss fight for us. So I still would love some real HP. And I'm not talking about a fruit-based, semi-sweet, tangy British sauce. There's our HP. And a trinket that, honestly, I think I will take. I think I will. Alright, so this run is not incredible yet. Mostly because, you know, our damage stat is really poor for where we're at in the game. But I'm not just trying to move the goalposts. You know, coupon is free deals with the devil. Or a lot of free shop items. Even if it's just consumables, you know, for the time being, we'd be pretty stoked to have it. It's weird, like, that became half price over time. And I think we'll get there. Like, the other thing is, honestly, we're so lucky to have Pyro. If we didn't have Pyro, we would have to, like, have a good run much faster than we do right now. Dude, Parasitoid Tears is pretty good, too. Now, am I willing to blow up every stack of mushrooms to find magic mush? That's one of those things, like, if there's still people out there doing, like, you know, video game Mythbusters. I would love to know. Mathematically speaking, is it worth it on average? Like, what's... Let's heavily go, by the way. You know what? I'm going to give you one of these. What's the most... Well, wait, what is the average odds of a single mushroom to pay out with magic mush? It's probably, I would say, like 1 in 20, 1 in 30, something like that. I mean, going down to 33 bombs, what is the actual, like, cost associated with that? Is pretty low. I bet it's probably worth blowing up every... Maybe not every stack of mushrooms, but, like, everything that's more than, like, a couple of mushrooms in one single go. Now, I think, to be straight up, we could pretty much just leave this floor. We got no... Well, I mean, I don't want to say we have no value. I wonder if we can get maybe, like, a Steam sale here. I don't want to say we got no value, but we got a limited value to being here, whereas the value of moving on, it means a lot for me personally in a period where I find myself bereft of both free and working time. But either way, you know, I find myself compelled, especially after, you know, losing a respectable streak due to an idiotic kind of mistake of bravado. Let's take our opportunity here to instead be a little bit shrewder. A little bit more methodical in our play. I know you're like, go back to the shop to use that coupon. I just like to pronounce things in the worst way. The way that annoys the most people. The thing is, there's nothing on the... Stop it. There's nothing in the shop that really appeals to me, quite frankly. So I think maybe saving a charge for the next floor is the way to go. Weird little frame rate hiccup there. It's okay. Any room where we can actually kill the enemy before it gets a chance to attack, at this stage of our life cycle, that's a dream come true. Because this one is still very slow. 2.57 damage. You're not going to make any Fortnite clip compilations. I gotta tell you. So you know, I've worked with many agencies across YouTube. This is not meant to be braggadocious. If anything, it's kind of like the opposite. But I don't want to say I'm like a unicorn on Twitch and YouTube, because I think there's other creators out there that do a similar thing to me, which is to say that the content that they make is not necessarily driven by them being particularly good at any video game, but instead is based on, you know, their personality being entertaining above all else. Not to say that the people who are good at video games are not also entertaining in their own way. I'm just saying, you know, nobody's watching me because, like, oh, you got to see his 70-kill Warzone game. People are watching me because, like, oh, you got to hear his impression of Bane at a drive-thru ordering the Travis Scott McDonald's meal. Anyway, so I get these emails from, like, you know, networks, and they'll be like, here's the top trending videos on YouTube for the past month. So if you're interested in making, like, you know, stuff that has a lot of mass appeal, this kind of intel might help you out. And for real, the one they sent out last month was like, I mean, Among Us was on it for sure, but then everything else apart from Among Us was like, Fortnite best builds, Fortnite top kill clip compilation, Fortnite, you know, this skin, Fortnite, and I was just like, man, I need to work with a more specialized, group or nobody at all, because this is not... I'm like, why didn't I think of that? Oh, Fortnite's popular? Why wasn't I making 100 kill montages? Oh, well, maybe because of the fact that to get 100 kills takes me 500 games. And then the kills aren't even that impressive. Most of them are like... I'd have to brand it as like, 100 times I shouldn't have lived in a gunfight in Fortnite. But then, like, I would brand it like that, but the reality would be, it would just be every time I actually won a gunfight. People would be like, wow, these guys you're playing against suck. And I'd be like, yeah, I don't know how they got into esports MMR. Hey, NL, why don't you post more Fortnite wins? No, because then you get used to them, and then it's a lot of pressure. Don't get That's the... I mean, you know that's Duel of the Fates. You don't need me to tell you that. Okay, you know why I'm here. I don't love any of these. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like this is... I don't necessarily think Circle of Protection is better than Immaculate Conception, but I do think that we're probably not gonna make... let me put it this way. We're not gonna get in the business of, like, academically debating the merit of, like, 2 7 out of 10 items. You know, if there was a 10 and a 4 in there and we chose the 4, that's one thing. But, you know, in reality, these are pretty close together. So, desperately on this floor, we will be... I mean, duality is kind of an interesting one, too, but I always find, like, duality is, like... Here's my duality fix, and I think it would step on the toes of, like, that other item I never remember the name of that shows up in Angel Rooms, but I think if duality let you go to both the Angel and the Devil deal, it would be worth taking in a choice situation like that more often. You didn't die, huh? Because it gates you from the other one as soon as you pick either a deal with the Angel or a deal with the Devil, I think it's kind of garbage and really exists mostly as like an intellectual curiosity. But, you know, we don't need to go that deep with it. You know, we're just kind of treading water until the new DLC comes out eventually. Don't need to be making enemies. What I meant to say is Pog. Can we get this video to a Pog amount of comments, please? Mr. Beast bet me I couldn't get 3,000 comments on this video. Can we prove Mr. Beast wrong, please? I got some good ideas in the YouTube pipeline. Like, I'm thinking we gotta start doing some more lifestyle content. I know I said we were gonna do it earlier this year. We did. We had some fresh injection of content in 2020. Probably like the freshest year for at least like 5 years. It's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit for obvious, you know, reshuffling of priority reasons here when the, you know, the baby has come about, you know? I'm kind of like on survival rations just as far as work goes. Just place a bomb here, please. Very annoying. Yeah, we gotta get back into it. Like, dude, I gotta rank the 12 Days of Christmas. It's been burning a hole in my brain. I gotta rank the 12 Days of Christmas. I don't even want to spoil anything. I'll spoil one thing for you from when I rank the 12 Days of Christmas, and it's gonna happen. 5 golden rings is number 1. That's all I'm gonna say. I think that's just obvious. You know, 3 cents. Let's go. I think we'll double and take the blanket. It's pretty good. I know we have another battery out here, but we were gonna double at some point anyway. Like, nothing else even comes close to 5 golden rings. The only thing I would say is that there are, and I'm not trying to, you know, make this weird. That's actually, like, pretty tempting. There are some of the 12 Days of Christmas that consist of human lives. So I guess what I would say, you know, and I think we will take red candle, dude. I hate to say it. Like, if you get 9 Lords of Leaping, like, what does that actually mean for you? You know what I mean? Like, do you get the... I'm trying to think how to phrase it. Do you get the lords in the sense, like, you now control their dominions as well? Because if that's the case, 9 Lords of Leaping is worth way more than 5 golden rings. However, if you only get the privilege of watching 9 Lords leap, I don't think that that's worth as much as 5 golden rings. It's the same thing. Like, here's one that I never understood. Is it 8 Maids of Milkin? What is supposed to be the gift there? Is the gift that you get some, like, hired help for, you know, to put it in Spelunky terms? Like, do you get some people around that are gonna, you know, do your milking for you so you don't have to? Or is it that you get to observe the milking, which is just sort of weird? Or do you get the cows that are involved, or the goats or whatever? Like, it's just... I just don't quite understand 8 Maids of Milkin. Like, 11 Ladies Dancing kind of makes sense. You know, you're like... it's like ballet or something, you know? Or America's Got Talent. Talk about running the gamut from intellectual to the opposite. Anyway, sorry, no offense, America's Got Talent. I'm sure you got great stuff there. But regardless, it's not about America's Got Talent. It's about the 12 Days of Christmas. 11 Ladies Dancing, you're like, okay, I get it. Dancing is kind of like a spectator thing. 8 Maids of Milkin, that's just a weird one for me. And then the other thing I think you get, before you go through the 12 Days of Christmas, I think you got to answer a question for yourself. When it comes to Christmas gifts, what's more valuable? More birds or less birds? Like, for example, I think we'd all agree that there are certain situations. I know, look, I'm not trying to be controversial. If you talk it over and you do it safely, I think there are certain situations where, you know, giving someone a puppy for Christmas can make sense, right? You know, maybe, like, your kid has wanted a puppy for a while. You're not going to put it in a box under the Christmas tree, but you'll be like, guess what? You know, for Christmas this year, we're going to get you a puppy from the Humane Society or something, right? I think there's situations where that's apropos. But if you were like, hey, you know, 12 doggies dipping, I don't know what they'd be doing. It's not like it has to make sense. Have you heard the song? None of it makes sense. 5 golden retrievers, 4 border collies, 3 French pugs, 2 chihuahuas, and a husky in a raincoat. You know, you would be like, you know what? Give me the husky in the raincoat, or maybe the 2 French bulldogs. You wouldn't be like, you know what? 11 lasso apsos. You'd be like, that's too many dogs. And that's kind of the way I feel about the birds in the 12 Days of Christmas. Like, day 1, a partridge in a pear tree. Honestly, the pear tree is kind of a great gift. That would be one that I would consider high value. Is it, you get a tree, but it's like already bearing fruit, perhaps. Which is really like, you know, they skipped the part of the tree growing that kind of sucks. Sorry to offend you, Malf, to suggest that any part of growing a tree sucks, but, you know, they skipped the non-productive, the non-nutritive growing phase. But then, okay, 2 French hens, that's not so bad. In the whole scheme of things. Great walking. 3 turtle doves. No, wait. 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves. Anyway. We don't want that. 4 calling birds. I think we can all agree, at this point, that's too many birds. You've given me, at this point, 4, 3, 2, 1 birds. You've given me 4 factorial birds. No, wait, you've added them together, not multiplied them. Disregard my idiocy. That's not good. That's too many birds. 10 birds? It's too many. But in particular, 4 calling birds? That's 4 noisy jerks, you know, like anyway, I'm spoiling my own content, so I should stop. But suffice it to say, I've thought long and hard about this. And I really think a lot of where you come down on the 12 Days of Christmas power rankings is really going to depend on the question of what's better, more birds or less birds. And I don't want to spoil too much, but I would say I am probably a less birds sort of guy. Tomo, we got HP and a deal with the devil. This is a dream come true. Give me some damage, please. Okay. How about screw you, and I'm going to go let Tomo in a second. Tomo. Hey, buddy. I also think that if you did a ranking of Christmas songs, the 12 Days of Christmas has got to be near the bottom. It's so long. Tomo, it's repetitive by design. Like, how long is the 12 Days of Christmas? I mean, there's 12 verses, and they get increasingly long. That's like the opposite of what you want out of a song. Is the longer it goes on for, the longer it goes on for. It's almost like it was a song that was designed to, like, teach you a foreign language. And then it somehow just became like its own thing. I might go ahead and say it. I think 12 Days of Christmas might be the worst Christmas. It might be my least favorite Christmas song. There's other ones I do not like for example, Christmas Shoes. It just strikes me as, you know, very emotionally manipulative r/that happened material. But at least it kind of, you know, doesn't super overstay its welcome. It has... It tries to tell a story. The 12 Days of Christmas sounds like a police report. On the 6th day of Christmas, my stalker gave to me 6 geese a-laying. More birds? Really? I know, right? The 5 golden rings. They really got a burst of enthusiasm on the 5th day. It really blew through their whole budget. 4 calling birds, 3 French hens. Every day? Every day. It's every day, bro. I hate it. I hate the... I mean, I'm not a Christmas music guy to begin with. Instead of Christmas music occupying 6 weeks of every year, I really think if I was president, Christmas music would... This is a lot of fun. This is a fun run. If I were president, Christmas music would be permissible from the 19th to the 26th of December, which I honestly think is fine. Like, you've heard the songs a trillion times. You really need like 6 weeks from American Thanksgiving to Christmas to be like, you know, jingle bells, jingle bells. Like, it's crazy to me. No other genre of music gets more than a day. Even, you know, Halloween, you hear the Monster Mash, like, ironically, 2 times. That's it. Either that, or I think you should there should be holiday music for every holiday. Like, why are there no Easter songs? Hey, yo, it's me, I'm the Easter Bunny. Come to drop some eggs in your house. They're made of chocolate, don't think too hard about it. I don't know why. It's kind of like a klezmer, like nautical, Soviet-era balalaika sort of jam that I'm rocking here, but I'm working on it, okay? I mean, hey, the Beatles wrote Paperback Writer in 20 minutes in their hotel room. I wrote that in 20 seconds. So, you know, imagine what I could do with 60 times that amount of runway. Paperback bunny. Dear sir or madam, can you find my egg? It took me years to hide and I broke my leg. Oh no. I mean, now we're getting into it, dude. Cause like, Like, I was wondering, like, why is there a reason that, like, Santa Claus seems plausible to people, but the Easter Bunny is kind of the one where people go, there's no chance? I guess, like, at least Santa Claus, like, he has, like, a reason for his job. Like, he could be employed by a god as, like, an arbiter of, like, Judge Dredd for children's behavior, right? It almost makes sense when you're a child that, yeah, like, there's somebody whose job it is to know when kids are good and bad and reward them with presents. You know, that's just something you need in order to have a functioning society. The Easter Bunny, to the best of my knowledge, has no motivation whatsoever. Like, even as a kid, you're like, so I'm expected to believe that, like, this weird bunny just goes around leaving Hershey's chocolates around out of the goodness of his heart? It's just weird. Because your parents are also like, if a stranger ever offers you candy, run away as fast as you can. But this, like, one day a year, if someone approaches you wearing a fluffy bunny costume, give them a big hug. It's just kind of a weird holiday, right? I mean, I know that there's religious observances on Easter. Don't get me wrong. I'm just, like, there's almost, it doesn't hold up to adult scrutiny, I'll admit. There's almost a case for Santa. You're like, the man's doing his job. He's being productive. The Easter Bunny just, and I apologize if you're watching this with your children, but I hate to say the Easter Bunny makes no sense. Just give him a job. Oh, once a year, if the Easter Bunny doesn't give you his chocolate, then he'll have too much. I don't, like, anything would do. Like, it's the same thing as, like, the Tooth Fairy. I know you could turn any childhood kind of holiday mascot into a horror villain very easily, but the Tooth Fairy is like the gimme, right? You put your teeth under your pillow, summons I was gonna say a demon, but I guess it's technically the opposite. Summons a fairy from another realm to yeah, that was fun damage to take. To take your teeth. What are they doing with them? I don't know. But here's the thing. There must be some arbitrage there. Because that son of a gun, she's paying you 25 cents a quarter. 5 pieces of Bazooka Joe or Double Bubble chewing gum. That's nothing. So, like, what's she doing with this? And why are we still getting a quarter for our teeth when our parents were getting a quarter for their teeth like 20 years ago or 40 or 50 years ago? It doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. That's what I'm saying. At least Santa Claus is like, you could imagine a world in which there is a being of a higher standing than Santa Claus that like maybe the government, right? And they employ Santa Claus, they give him a budget, and they're like, hey, we need you to make sure that as many kids as possible are behaving well. And he's like, okay, here's how I'm going to do it. Get this. It's kind of a roundabout scheme, but I'm going to employ an underclass of elves, and we don't want to really talk about how much of the budget goes to the elves, but and then I'm going to use my magical teleportation abilities to deliver all the goods to nice kids. And then to the naughty kids, guess what? I'm going to give them a little lump of coal. You know, it really raises the question of why Santa Claus wouldn't use his fast travel, like the Flash-esque technology to merely, like, engage in maybe a coup of his employers in the first place and take their position. But, you know, that's not for me to judge. Maybe he just does it for the thrill of the game. Well, I would like to have... Is it so much to ask to have more than 3.12 damage at this stage of the game? You know what? I was not going to use the Emperor here. I was going to use it on the Cathedral. And then, we hit a very distant dead end, and I said, you know what? Let's send it. That's right, we do have one Holy Mantle charge here thanks to the blanket. I mean, I think we've actually played this run pretty well. I'm also extremely pleased that we did take Red Candle. Because Coupon, it did some stuff. Some of the most value we've gotten from this run has been from shops. Wow, no deal with the devil on a 75% chance. Has been from, like, those, the items we got from shops, but this is, like, it's really bad. Without Red Candle, I would say we would probably already be dead. Right? To be honest, I just didn't see that. But apart from, like, some, you know, bad damage of that ilk, I really think we've played this one pretty smart. So we, you know, it's debatable, I suppose, whether or not you would spend your time doing this. I think with 19 bombs, the Cathedral tends to be pretty okay. Because, like, Red Candle is kind of like infinite bombs. You know, it does similar damage to a bomb, I think. That was just bad luck, honestly. Does similar damage to a bomb, but you can reuse it. You know what? At this point, we probably should just dump the left hand. We don't really care for the swallowed penny at this point. But then we can use our bombs to blow up those tinted rocks. Or not tinted rocks, the blue fires. But really, this is one of those runs that, like, you know... I mean, if you're gonna make me say it and be kind of like a bad guy, it's one of those runs where when you're playing it, you're like... Especially when you open 3 red chests and you get 4 spiders and a troll bomb, you go like, okay, I get it. Like, the game doesn't respect me. Maybe this is a day where I could have, you know, not played Isaac and instead ranked the 12 Days of Christmas, and... Maybe all the haters are right. Nah, we're gonna persevere here. It's a banter-rich episode. I support that. We shouldn't be talking about Christmas songs just yet. This one goes out, by the way, because we've had so little baby discourse. This one goes out to the guy who made a post on my subreddit saying, can you stop shoving the baby anecdotes into every single video? It's cringe. This one goes to you, my friend, who also posted a bio of yourself to make sure your criticism did not fall on deaf ears. Dude, it's just banter. It's just banter. Don't be mad. So I hope you enjoyed this one, because we'll probably get some baby anecdotes going in the next one. Because the extent of my real anecdotes right now are like, it's raining. It's all I got. Go ahead, try me. Go ahead. Yeah, you don't have the stones. You ever wonder how Gertie Jr. locomotes in this game? Do you think they just drew Gertie Jr. like this because it's hard to draw feet? Unless you are a not safe for work artist on Patreon. Yuck. Well, there goes our all-important bone heart, followed by a spirit heart soon after. I mean, we could still lose this run. There's no doubt about that. It's still a very, very tough one. 9 volts doing great work as well. Just kind of hoping, like, at this point, I would really say, like, it's kind of too late for a damage card to really do that much for us, or a damage item, I should say. This is probably going to be a dead end, unfortunately. But oh my god, that one's on me. Maybe it's not going to be a dead end, but it's almost too late for damage to win us the game. We kind of need is a strong word, but would like heavily love to see something that just kind of gives us a big defensive boost, and then we'll just tough it out with our existing damage and red candle making up the difference for us. Like, for example, Maggie's bow would be pretty good. Even just getting, like, Bloody Penny as a trinket would be pretty sweet. Like, I'm not gonna be insanely picky, but I am a little frightened because usually Your average yield on the chest is like 4 items that do nothing for you. And then I would say maybe like 1 every 5 or 6 times you actually get like 4 amazing items when you don't need them. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. Okay, so my wife just talked to me through the security camera that's on my desk to try to scare me. This is what I've been talking about on YouTube for a long time. It's the double standard between men and women. I've written an essay about it on my Parler account that you can go read. If I did that to her, she would probably actually leave me, is my guess. I think she would probably, or more accurately, she would probably kick me out of the house, which is messed up. I can hear her laughing from the other room too. What she doesn't know is that I possess such incredible strength that, quite frankly, I could smash this Wish.com piece of garbage in about half a second. It's just my incredible strength of resolve that's keeping me from doing that right now. There she goes. She's saying boo. I'm gonna remember this the next time she's like, you know, I looked after the baby a lot today. Can you take the baby for a bit so I can do some stuff? Apparently it's not that hard work. Still got time to troll while I'm at my job. No big deal. Okay. Hey, don't just freaking angel fetus, dude. I'm very happy I've recovered here, but I'm very happy we got enough HP on the floor to go down to the next floor with a full HP situation. I'm also very happy we got the blanket earlier, because, like, that really is making all the difference. We would probably be dead were it not for that. This is just, like, it's the kind of run that makes you not want to play any more Isaac today, which is really unfortunate because I did that yesterday, so I really got to play like a lot of Isaac today. I still had fun talking, but it was like having a nice conversation during a traffic jam, you know? You're like, thanks for the conversation, but at the same time, could we get moving here? So we got 16 bombs. Bombs are really not worth much on the next floor. That's a given. So I think we should look for a secret room here. I think we should look for a secret room here. And here. Okay, there we go. I'll settle for 1. We did spend 3 bombs. That's huge value. Oh my. That is huge value. Alright. Alright. 4 HP is more doable this way. There's no doubt about that. No one would dispute that it's more doable. We don't have great speed, but we might have to take that. Shard of Glass is like, I think it's probably the item I've looked up on the Isaac wiki the most. So this is not exactly the kind of yield I was super looking forward to, but it is indeed. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. It is indeed the kind of yield I think I've come to expect from the chest. This could be good. It's not. At this point, we're taking pills. Okay. At this point, we're taking pills. In this household, we don't stand pharmaceuticals unless there's a prescribed need. And let's just say we got a prescription right now. And it's not for more cowbell. I'm realizing as well, like with Battery Baby, man, oh man, we would be crushing it if we could just get like Book of Revelations or, you know, something of the ilk. It's gonna sound pretty goofy, but I actually feel like maybe if we lose, one of the, like, pressure points I would look to, as, like, we could have maybe changed our fortunes here, is when we had the opportunity to take Book of Sin. I definitely think it's worse than the coupon at the time, and I definitely think it's way worse than Red Candle, However, with Battery Baby, and it's a big if, but we might have been able to build enough HP off of it to get something more sustainable. But, you know, let's not talk like this one's over yet. This room is truly awful. Yep. Yep. Just one of you be dead. There we go. All right, I mean, what do you want me to do? I honestly, I would love to have won that one, but when I look at a run with 3.12 damage on the chest, I say, okay, the game selected me to be removed here. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it in spite of that. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya.